Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add a battery system to your flashlight. If you haven't seen my flashlight tutorial yet, I will link it in this video and in the description below for you to check that out so you can catch up. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications on when new content drops. Let's get started. All right, picking up where we left off at the end of the flashlight tutorial, we're going to go to our character blueprint. We're going to come down here and we're going to create a variable. We're going to name that battery. And we're going to click this drop down and we're going to make that an integer. Then we're going to create another variable and we're going to call it flashlight active. And we're going to make that a Boolean. Compile. Do this now before I forget. We'll click the battery variable and come over here to your default value and just make it 100. 100. And we'll compile that. Come down here to our flashlight input action and I'm going to drag these off and give us some room. I'm going to take this flashlight active variable we have here and I'm just going to drag it and I'm going to connect it to the A pin of the flip-flop and then check that box. I'm going to drag it out again to the B pin of that flip-flop node and we're going to make sure it's false, unchecked. Then we're going to drag off of this set here and we're going to make a branch. We're going to click Alt and we're going to click on the output pin of our bottom set and click to delete that connection and then connect this set to the same branch. Then we're going to drag our flashlight active variable out to the condition pin of the branch. So this is saying this is going to flip-flop between making the flashlight active true and making it false. So then it comes into the same branch, which is checking to see if the flashlight's active. And if it's true, it'll set the visibility to on. And if it's false, it'll set that visibility to off. Now we want to drag the visibility on a little farther out. And from the true, we're actually going to drag off and make another branch. And for the condition, we're going to drag out our battery variable and we're going to get it. And from that, we're going to drag off and just get a greater than, and connect that to the condition of the branch. So now, if our flashlight is active and if our battery is greater than 0, it'll turn our flashlight on. If it is not active, it keeps it off. Now we can add sound to this. I already have sounds, so I'll just add them real quick. You can if you want to. I'll do it just to show you how. So I'm going to drag off of the set visibility for the on. We're just going to type in play sound. We're going to look for play sound 2D. And then we'll just duplicate that and connect it to the set visibility off. Now I'm going to click this drop down and I'm going to look for my flashlight on sound cue. And for the off side, we're going to look for the flashlight off. Now these here, I'm actually going to select the spotlight, the set visibility, and the play sound 2D. I'm going to right click and I'm going to come down to collapse to function. And I'm just going to name that function turn on flashlight. And we'll just do the same down here. Select the spotlight, the set visibility, play sound 2D, right click, go to collapse to function, and this one will be turn off flashlight. And that just cleans it up a lot. And it makes it to where you can actually call this function in other areas rather than searching for those nodes every single time. Now before we move on, we're going to want to come down here, we're going to right click, and we're going to create a custom event and we're going to name it drain battery. And now that that is a made custom event, we can come up here and we'll just drag off of this and we will actually call that that custom event right here. And now that it's called up there, we can come down here and create the logic for our drain battery custom event. So we'll just drag off and get a branch. And we're going to get our flashlight active to be our condition of the branch. Now we're going to get our battery variable. We're going to drag off of that. And we're going to get a subtract operator. And then we're just going to make this, we'll do 10 for the sake of the tutorial. And then we're going to drag our battery variable out again and connect it to the output pin here of the subtract node to set it. And we'll take our true pin from our branch node and connect it to the set. So now that's saying when our flashlight's active, it will take our battery variable, subtract 10 from it, and set it. And now from our set battery here, we'll drag off, we'll get another branch. We'll drag off of the output pin of the set node here. And we'll get a greater than, and we'll make that 0. We'll just connect that to the condition of the branch. So now if our flashlight's active, it'll subtract 10 from the battery every certain amount of time. And as long as it stays above 0, we can come down here to branch, and from the true, we will add a delay. And we'll make that delay 1 second. And then we'll actually, from that delay, we will call the drain battery custom event. From the false, we'll drag down here and we will call our turn off flashlight function that we created. Compile and save. Now if we come in and test this, we turn our flashlight on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was a little off, but it was taking 10 from the battery variable every second. So it took 10 seconds to take that full 100 off. And that's why the flashlight automatically turned off. And now if I hit F again, we're clicking, but the flashlight's not coming on, and that's because the battery variable is at 0 and it will not go through that logic if it's 0. So it's working just how we want it to. And now we need to create a widget that correlates with the battery life. That way we can see how much battery we have left. So we'll come into our content drawer and we will create a widget blueprint. So we'll go to user interface, widget blueprint, click on user widget, and we'll just name that WB battery life. We'll open that up. We will drag out a canvas panel. And then we will drag out a progress bar. I'm just going to put it down here in the lower left corner. You can make it however you want. You can make it go left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top, however you want it to. And we will anchor the progress bar to the bottom left. Since that's the corner we have it in, it'll always make sure it's placed at the corner of the screen on the bottom left side. We'll set our fill type left to right. And you can see if I scroll this percentage here, you can see the progress bar moving up and down. And we can change that to be yellow or whatever color you want. Now we'll open up the battery life graph. From our event construct, we want to drag off and get actor of class. And we want our BP character. We want our character blueprint to be the actor class. We want to right click here, promote to variable, and we'll just name that player ref. We'll go back to our designer and we'll come over here under the progress section of our progress bar. And these little links here, we'll click on those and we'll create a binding. We want to drag out our player reference, get it. We want to drag off of that and get battery. We'll get our battery variable from our player character. And we want to just connect that to the return node. And then off of the float side of this pin, off of the float side of this node, the return value, we want to drag off and we want to get a divide. And we want to divide it by 100 to get the percent of our battery life. And then we just want to connect that to the return node. Now we want to compile and save that. Let's go to our first person character graph. Go up to the top here. So we will right click and get our begin play node. And we'll just drag off of that and create widget. We will select our WB battery life widget. Then we want to drag off the create widget and get player controller. And then off of the return value, we will just add to viewport. And if we test that, now you see our widget in the bottom left corner of the screen. If we turn our flashlight on, you can see it clicking down every second. It takes 10 off. If I turn the battery off, it stops counting down, stops taking off of that battery life. If I turn it back on, it takes it off until it's all empty. So it's working just like it should be. Open up our character blueprint here, and we will create a custom event, and we'll just name it battery pickup. We'll get our battery variable. And we will add. I'm going to use our add operator. And here you can add whatever you want to add for each battery. What I like to do is drag off of the other side of the add and do a random integer in range. And I like to do 20 for the minimum, and we'll do 75 for the max. So now when you pick up a battery, it'll get that battery and it will add some number between 20 and 75 to that. That way it's not always the same. Now we want to drag our battery out and connect it to the return value of the addition node. And we'll just connect our battery pickup pin to the set battery pin. And now we want to create a variable, and we'll call this max battery. And we want that to be an integer. Let's just compile so we can change the default value, and we will make that 100. And then we'll compile that again. Now we want to go to our content drawer and create a new blueprint class, an actor. And we'll just name this BP battery. We'll open that up. And we'll just add a cube. And we want to shrink this down. And then we will add a box collision around that. that a little bit bigger. And we want to open up our graph, and we'll right click. While we have this box collision highlighted here, we can add event for box collision and add on component begin overlap. Or you can click on that box, come down here, and you can click on it here also. And since we already have it there, it'll just bring us to it. Now on component other actor, we want to drag off and cast to our first person character. And then off of that return value, we want to call battery pickup custom event that we just created. And then I'll even drag off of that and play sound 2D. I have a little sound I can add for that too. And we'll just do a battery click. Then I'll do a delay. And we could just leave it at 0.2. And then we will destroy actor. And I do the delay because this logic goes really fast. And sometimes it can destroy it before it actually completes that logic. So you create a delay before it destroys it, and that ensures that all this executes before the destroy actor. Sometimes it doesn't work right, so I like to put that delay in there just to be safe. We'll compile and save that, and we'll go to our map. And let's just drag out a few of these battery actors that we created. Now let's play. If I turn the battery on, it's going down, it's going down. It turns off. I picked that battery up. It added battery back to my widget. I can turn the flashlight on again. Takes off again. It won't come on. I get more battery. See, that time it added a lot more. Turn the flashlight back on. If I go collect it now, adds a bunch to it. If I turn the flashlight off, collect this one, turn it back on. And we're out of battery. And it will not come back on. I have no batteries left. That's it, guys, just like that. That's how you add a battery system to your flashlight. Simple and easy. Comment down below with what you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.